All right, so I don't even know how to start this. What do we talk about?
I guess we could just, I guess, start talking about our favorites and least favorite Final Fantasy games. Maybe kind of start from there. I feel like that'd be a good
Um,
way to kickstart things off.
okay. What is your favorite Final Fantasy?
10.
Yeah, that's actually pretty good. That's like one of my favorite ones.
Yep, same. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just like a Spira or the atmosphere or the vibes or I mean this. The what do you call it? The story and characters definitely touched me in a way.
Yeah, it's a pretty good game. Like, especially the aesthetics of the game, it just makes it immaculate.
Yeah, and my first exposure to the game was when I got it on PS3 for the HD remaster when it first came out.
Yeah, same. Like when I first got it, I was like just like really into it, like the music and just the
Yep.
characters too.
This might be a hot
Yeah,
take, but I actually prefer the remastered music.
really?
Yep.
I mean, I didn't really listen to the difference, so I wouldn't know.
It's a lot more percussion in the original, but there's a lot more electric guitar in the remaster. So I'm kind of a sucker for electric guitars.
Yeah, so I just like I have to listen to the remaster and then also listen to the original soundtrack because I don't know what's the difference and I gotta listen to it myself.
Yeah, I mean it's all pretty good stuff regardless, but yeah, also Final Fantasy X when it got remastered on PS3, it kind of came out during a time where, it was kind of a rough point in my life. I was like 17. And I could, this might be a little bit embarrassing, but I could kind of relate to Tidus in a way. And I think that he's a bit of an underrated character. I feel like people don't give him enough credit.
I relate to Yuna because she was extremely shy, so am I, and it's relatable.
Yeah, fair. One thing I will say though is that like whatever negative thing you could say about Tidus at the beginning of the game, which he does deserve. I would say that the end of the game kind of justified his character because like he was literally willing to sacrifice. Like the dude went through like some sort of existential crisis with realizing that he was just a dream made up by the faith. And, even accepting
Yeah.
all that and, like, he would be willing to give up his own life to try and make the world a better place, and I think that's pretty noble.
Yes, at the beginning, it's like, why is this annoying ass kid just having daddy issues? And then, like, by when you finish the game, you actually understand why he's like that.
Yeah.
It's a good game. I have to replay it again. I have to make a video about that game.
Yeah, it's also a really good looking game for the time too. Like, for an early PS2 title.
Yeah, and Final Fantasy VIII was actually going to be like that. Yeah, I don't know if you ever seen the tech demo.
I have not.
Oh, I'll send it to you later. But yeah, it looks Final Fantasy VIII was actually going to look like that.
Interesting. Yeah,
Yeah.
like, I would say 8 is also kind of underrated too. When I first tried playing it, I thought I was gonna hate it, but, it did kinda grow on me. I thought the junctioning system was a good idea. It might not be like my preferred gameplay style for Final Fantasy, but it had some cool ideas to it. It was a neat little gimmick, and I also thought Squall was a pretty underrated main character. His friends are kind of annoying, though. I thought, like Zell.
Like
He-
the thing with Final Fantasy VIII is that like they create these characters and they don't really do much about them because the whole story is just basically Squall and Rinoa.
exactly. Zell is just
Yeah,
kind of like a Scrappy Doo if you think about it.
it's just like these characters are just there for the sake of just being there. So that's like one of the biggest flaws of Final Fantasy VIII. It's just the characters just being there for I don't know for comedy, I guess.
Yeah. Also, one thing too, the story is pretty contrived.
Yeah, it's just the whole love story with Laguna, Rain, and then there's Squall Rinoa.
Hmm.
So it's not really the best of the golden age, but it's still probably one of the greatest
Yeah.
Final Fantasies.
Yeah. It's fine.
What about Final Fantasy 9?
Really good game. I didn't like it as much as 7 or 10, but that really just has to come down to, like, the characters. I just didn't think that they were as interesting. so it's definitely more of, like, a subjective thing. You know, if
Okay,
someone
for me,
Sorry,
that
go
is
ahead.
my favorite one. It's my
Really?
favorite one. Yep.
Yeah, 'cause, when I was first introduced to Final Fantasy IX, it was, via PS3, what do you call it? Back when they still had the, PS1 classics on PS3.
Oh yeah, that's where I started playing like like the Final Fantasy games on the PS1 and Parasite Eve too. I don't know if you've heard of that game.
Oh, yeah, I played a little bit of Parasite Eve, though. Never got far into it,
Really?
but from what I played, it was pretty good.
It's it's a really good game. Like I if I could play it again, I could, but they don't like I can't find it anymore, and I don't have a PC to stream it, so
Yeah, I heard that the first game has a lot of rights issues because I think it's based on a book or something like that. That's what I heard.
I don't know, but I could probably look it up later. But it's it has a great soundtrack.
Oh, yeah, the music seems pretty good. I also kinda liked how it fused, I guess you could call it gunplay with the turn-based system.
Yeah, that's probably one of my favorite things. And the best thing about it is just that I love horror, and I'm a big fan of horror,
Mhm.
and that's the game that got me into horror genre.
It's pretty cool.
Yep.
One thing I was gonna say too is that, a lot of the ideas that were scrapped for Final Fantasy VII ended up making its way into Parasite Eve because it was originally gonna take place in New York. I don't know if you knew that.
Yeah, the whole that I guess before they wanted to do something with Final Fantasy VII takes place in New York and they were terrorists or something. And I guess they wanted to redo that idea with Parasite Eve.
Yep.
Yeah, it's you should actually play it though. Like I recommend it.
Yeah, maybe I'll load it up on DuckStation someday 'cause, there's definitely no remaster of it available, unfortunately.
Okay, so which Final Fantasy game do you hate the most?
It's 13, and it's not even close. Like, for me, the things that I really hated about Final Fantasy 13, well, I mean, obviously, the gameplay, people meme about it to death, but there's just really no depth to it. You can't really customize any of your characters or make any meaningful decisions until you're, like, 40 hours into the frickin' game. And then,
Okay, yeah.
the other thing too is that I hated the characters. Hope and, Snow, especially.
Oh my God, the cringe characters.
Like, to me, Hope
I
is
hate.
basically Tidus if you, took away all the positive attributes about him.
Okay, for me, I think the character I hate the most is Vanille. Especially if we play it in English, it sounds like she's having an orgasm every second, and it's just so fucking annoying.
Yeah, I was gonna say Vanille too. Slight spoilers, but, isn't she technically responsible for the death of Saz's son?
Yeah, it's okay. If I remember playing it correctly, her and Fang were just um I don't remember, but yeah, they were responsible for everything that happened.
Yeah. Also, one thing too is that, Vanille's design is just, like, so out of place compared to all the other characters who look all sci-fi and shit.
Yeah, and then Vanille looks like she's I don't know, she just doesn't seem like she fits in that game. She fits more in like in Final Fantasy 12 or Final Fantasy 10.
Yeah, I could see her being in 10.
Yeah, but it's her look. She has like that Spira vibe, you know.
Mhm.
Yeah, but God, the only positive thing I could say about the game is the graphics and the music.
Oh, yeah, the music well, I mean, the music, it's good, but it does kinda get a little repetitive because it reuses the same melody from the theme song, or the title screen, rather, but it's still
Yeah,
pretty
it's
good.
just like it's just repeats itself over and over. Like the boss theme is fucking great, even the
Oh,
battle
yeah.
theme.
Yeah, the Bartangelos
But
theme
that's
definitely slaps.
yeah, but that's like one of the only few things I could say about that game that's great. But everything else is just so boring. It's so linear.
Yep. Also, to kinda add on to your point, I think that Final Fantasy 13, in terms of its graphics and art, it looks a hell of a lot better than 15.
Does it?
I think so. It at
I mean,
least pops out
the
to me more.
graphics still hold up.
Oh, yeah. But, like, I think visually
Mm.
speaking, 13 kinda has, I guess in terms of, like, its presentation, has the more interesting cutscenes.
Oh yeah, the CGI cutscenes are fucking great. I'm not gonna lie.
Mhm.
Okay, why don't you ask me something about I guess Final Fantasy, I suppose.
Yeah. I was gonna ask you, how many of the classics have you played? Like, 1 through 6?
Yeah, I played 1 through 6. 5 and 6 are my favorite ones.
Nice. Yeah, I think for me, 6 is definitely my favorite out of all of them.
Yeah,
Aside
it has great cast of characters. I'm not gonna lie. Terra is one of my favorites. Shadow, Salas, those are my top three.
Yeah, like, originally, it was 4 at first was my favorite, and I tried playing 6 multiple times in the past, and, it just didn't really grab me. It was, throwing a whole bunch of plot points and characters at me, like, all at once, but once you put enough hours into it, the characters do grow on you, and, the story, I would say, is a lot better than 4. Because it's like in 4, it's a lot easier to get into or to digest with the story, but it's like a lot of the
Mhm.
characters just make dumb decisions half the time. I think Kane ends up getting brainwashed twice too, right?
Um, I think it's only once, if I remember.
Yeah,
I have to
okay.
replay that game. That's like my first Final Fantasy, but I don't remember. I remember playing it on the 3DS. I mean the 3D, I mean the DS version of it.
Yeah.
And it's so fucking hard that I almost gave up. It is impossible to pass the game when you're a kid, but when you're older, it's actually a little bit easier because you know what you're doing.
Yeah, interesting. Because I was gonna say, like, my first introduction to Final Fantasy was, Final Fantasy 3 on the DS, and that was also pretty freaking difficult too, if you didn't know what you were doing.
Yeah, Final Fantasy 3 was, it's a good game. It's just like I wish Final Fantasy 6 had that art style.
Yeah, if you're talking about the 3D, little chibi 3D.
Yeah, yeah, it would be nice if they had that, but it's from what I've read in articles is that if Final Fantasy 6 does get a remake, it's gonna take 20 years, and I don't understand why it'll take that long.
Yeah, me personally, I think after 7, they should just stop with that. They should just focus on either newer titles or, keeping up with preserving the older games because they've spent, like, what, almost 10 years making 3 parts out of Final Fantasy 7?
Oh my god, don't even remind me of the fucking remake. It's so shit. Like, you haven't played it, huh?
Yeah, no, I've only beaten the original Final Fantasy 7 multiple times, and based on all the footage I've seen of the remake, some of the cutscenes just look like cringe.
Oh, trust me, if you ever do get to play the remake, you will understand the suffrage of me and Senuez that we have to go through with those fucking cutscenes. Like, it's so shit.
Yeah, and, like, some of the lines in the original Final Fantasy 7, I think they're better read than spoken out, and I think that might be a major factor in the remakes, as to why people hate them too. I could be wrong
Oh,
about that,
trust
and
me.
I'm probably speaking in ignorance because I haven't played them for myself, but I'm assuming that's the case.
Well, there's this line that Tifa says when you're climbing up the stairs that they removed. Um, I'm sure it was mistranslation, but she calls Barrett a retard.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. Yeah, it was,
Yeah, it's like, where's this version of Tifa? I want to see this version of Tifa more. I don't want the shy Tifa in the remake.
yeah, what's so funny too is, one day I was just scrolling through Twitter and, there was this person that was playing the original Final Fantasy 7, for the first time, and she or he, I forget who it was, they had no idea that, Yuffie was just, like, this character that you could unlock optionally, and she barely has anything to do with anything. She's just kinda there.
Yeah, if I remember, well, I need to play that. I'm forgetting everything. Okay, so the thing is that like when people get introduced to these two characters, Vincent and Yuffie, those two characters don't really have anything to do with the story much.
Right, like the main
So I
plot
guess
anyway.
the yeah, so once you get to Wutai, it just like it makes a lot more sense for that character. And same thing with Vincent, when you go to the cave where Lucrezia is sleeping, you understand everything about what's really happening, like with the whole backstory of Sephiroth and that type of stuff.
Yeah, it's been a while since I played Final Fantasy VII, but yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it's my second favorite game in the series, and what they did in the remake just oh boy,
Yeah,
I cannot wait for this shit to be over. I have to play part three just to see how it ends, and I'm sure the ending is gonna be retarded.
yeah. Eventually, after I beat Final Fantasy 12 and the rest of the 13 trilogy, I'm gonna be I'm sure looking forward to that. Probably not.
I didn't you say you're gonna stream Final Fantasy 12?
Yep, I actually plan on streaming it today as of the making of this recording. It'll happen in like a couple hours.
All right, so let me tell you something about that game. I'm not
Okay.
gonna spoil the story, but I'm just gonna tell you that the only good character in that game is Balthier, and that is the only reason why I continue to play that game is because of that character.
Okay. I'll definitely probably see what you mean whenever I play through it. One thing I did hear about
It's
12 though is that Vaughn isn't really the main character. It's more so just Princess Ash or whatever.
yeah, she's her and Balthier are the main characters. Vaughn is just there because
He's just a
it's just
street
for the sake
rat.
of comedy. Yeah, it's he's just there because I don't even know why the fuck he's there. He's just there.
Yep.
But yeah, it's fuck it does get kind of boring at times. Like the music is actually not that bad, but it could have been better.
Yeah.
And some of these characters just bore me to death. But I mean, if you're a fan of Star Wars, you might like it or something.
Yeah, the presentation looked very prequel trilogy-ish.
Yeah, I mean, it look if at some point we gotta talk about Star Wars because
Oh yeah.
I I still need to get into the franchise. But anyway, about Final Fantasy, what do you think of Nomura?
I think he's a great artist. He's a questionable director, but he's a horrible writer. And
Oh yeah,
he needs to have some kind of co-writer help him cuz holy shit.
he's putting his Kingdom Hearts into my Final Fantasy games. I don't like that.
Yeah. I mean, although I think there could be some slight differences between how like the action-based Final Fantasy games are and how Kingdom Hearts games are cuz like I think with Kingdom Hearts the games are more airborne. But yeah, no. Final Fantasy should stay turn-based. Hopefully Kingdom Hearts 4 ends up being more of a return to form than KH3 was, which, not to get too off
Oh
topic, but yeah, KH3
no,
was a disappointment.
keep going. Yeah, keep going. Kingdom Hearts 2, because that like I was disappointed when that game came out, and I was like, where the fuck is everybody else? Like, where's the other worlds? There was like we started off so fucking like too quick with the
Mhm.
story and everything, and like when the reviews came out, everybody was just lashing out with one another. It was divided.
Yeah.
I know it has nothing to do with this topic, but yeah, Kingdom Hearts 3, it could have been better. It's just wanted to focus more on the Xehanort saga and how it ended.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. But, kind of veering back on topic, I think one thing that Square Enix in general has kind of, like, lost touch on was, like, having a good magic system. 'Cause, I played through, I wanna say, most of Final Fantasy 15. I made it to, I think, the last chapter, but, I just kinda stopped because I was kind of underleveled and a lot of the enemies were tough, so I just set it aside for a while, but, the magic system in Final Fantasy 15 was so underwhelming to me. It just kind of felt like an afterthought. Like you just throw bombs and that just does more damage. It's like there's no strategy to it.
Yeah, I was gonna say something about that. Like we had a chance to actually play as Aranea, and she's just there for like 15 minutes, and we don't even get to use her if I remember correctly, because that's actually one of the first games I ever bought, and I was excited. I was waiting for 10 years for that game to be
Mhm.
released, and when we got it, I was just disappointed with everything. It's like, why the fuck did you make us wait so long? We were excited, and then everybody just gets disappointed. I mean, there's some people that did like it, but for me, I was just I don't know, like it just felt like there was a lot of missing.
Yeah. They gutted a lot of the story just to make it like this multimedia universe too.
Yeah, and then they started like promoting with the anime and the movie and the DLCs, and I'm like, I'm not gonna be buying all this shit just to get the full story. Like, it's
Yeah.
so fucking stupid.
I was gonna say one thing too about Final Fantasy 15, like just from a core combat, from like that angle of the gameplay, just not a whole lot going on. Like you just what do warps? What was it? Warp strikes,
Yeah, that's probably the only thing I basically did was just spamming the shit out of there because
and then you just
God,
hold
like the
circle
gameplay.
to dodge.
Yeah, yeah, that's like why am I playing this game again? I would rather play. Okay, so during the time I was playing Persona 5 and also was playing Final Fantasy 15.
Right?
So I was just like, I'd rather just go play Persona 5 instead. At least that shit is more entertaining.
Yeah, there's a lot more strategy involved to it too.
Yeah, I just wish Final Fantasy went back to turn-based. Apparently, the next one will be, but who knows? Especially with the people wanting more action nowadays than turn-based. I mean, look at Clair Obscur. It sold perfectly because it was turn-based, and a lot of people miss turn-based games.
And it had its own unique ideas to it as well.
Yeah, have you played it?
I've beaten it. I think I mean, it's overrated, I think, but for a sequel, there's a lot of potential to improve upon some of the things they introduced.
Yeah, that's the plot twist kind of just there's some plot twists here and there that I didn't really enjoy, but it's still a great game, for me.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Got anything to ask?
Uh, as far as like Clair Obscur goes, not really, but
Okay, so hmm, what is your favorite soundtrack in the series?
probably 10. Although 7 is pretty good too, but I think 10 has more of like a personal connection to me.
Yeah, there's something about how vibrant the music in that game is. It just feels kind of relaxing and calm.
Yep. I like whenever you're walking across the trails of Besaid, has that neat little
Oh
piano
yeah,
melody.
yeah, especially Xanarkin when it starts to play
hmm
the opening where
Yeah,
the heavy metal music starts to kick into it. That's such a good opening, honestly.
yep, very Kino. I agree. One thing I
Yeah,
was
it's
sorry, go ahead.
what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say, one thing I will say is that I think this might be a hot take, but I think like going back to the classic games for a minute, Final Fantasy 3, I think, was better than Final Fantasy 5.
Really?
Yeah, and I'm sure a lot of it is due to nostalgia. I'm sure just because it was the first Final Fantasy game I played, so yeah, I might favor it a little bit more than I'm sure most people would. But I thought how the job system was handled was like I don't know, it felt like it had more of a purpose, whereas, like, with Final Fantasy 5, yeah, there's, like, multiple jobs, and, it's a lot more customizable, you can mix and match different abilities, but I feel like there's no urgency whenever you max out specific classes. Like, if you max out your white mages on all your party members, your black mages, your samurais, and your ninjas, and your thieves, like, you pretty much just won the game, I think.
Yeah, the job system for me for five, I think it's pretty good. Like, it's just something that I really like about Final Fantasy Five. Well, Final Fantasy Five is underrated, and
Oh,
I
yeah.
think a lot of people should actually play it more often. It's a really good game.
Yeah, and,
Um,
I was gonna say, though, just to add on to my point, like, I'm not trying to say that Final Fantasy 5 is bad because it's not, it's good, it's just, maybe, I just kinda prefer the way 3 handled its job system a lot better.
yeah, I have to replay three again. It's been years. I haven't played it since I was like 16.
Yep, veering off topic a little bit, though, have you played Bravely Default?
No, and people keep telling me to play it because it's basically Final Fantasy, and I'm like, but it's just the job system, right?
It's actually expanded upon a lot more than 5. Like, if Final Fantasy 3 was, like, the origin for how, changing party job classes would be handled, and Final Fantasy 5 was, like, an expansion of that, Bravely Default takes it to a whole new level, and I actually beat it recently, I think last month, when it got, ported over to Steam a while ago. It's a good game, very underrated. It's a shame it was a Switch 2 exclusive for about a year, but hey, um, we have it on Steam now, so
Yeah, I mean, I should probably get into Bravely Default
yeah.
because people keep telling me to play it, and I'm like, but I got all these other games. Like even Persona 4 Remake is coming out, so I gotta get that.
Oh, yeah, same. Hopefully they don't, fuck up too much of the story or try to make it PC, but, I have my doubts.
I mean, did they do that with Persona 3? I don't remember the remake for that game.
A little bit. There was, like, one interaction between, the male NPCs and, it was during the beach segment where they were on the beach and they were trying to hit on all the girls. And you remember how in the original game there was a, tranny? Or I guess like a
Oh yeah,
yeah. Yeah, in the,
they made.
remake, they made her a conspiracy theorist instead.
Oh god.
Yeah. So, there might be some shenanigans with, Persona 4, but, we'll see.
Oh my god. Okay, so I know it's off topic, but I feel like they're gonna do something with Naoto, and she's my favorite character, and I don't want anything with this whole, oh, is she a tranny or that type of stuff?
Yeah. Yeah, kind of the same thing with Kanji. He was, I actually kinda related to him a little bit just because, I used to get yeah, I was like that angry white boy or whatever. So it's like in a way I could kind of, relate to him, but, yeah, if they just straight up, like, just make him look more like a closeted gay dude, then I think that would be flanderization of his character, and, I would just say go buy the original game instead.
Yeah, they need to do that because I mean, Persona always had this type of vibe where they put a lot of LGBT stuff in it, so it didn't bother me. But if they force it too much, it's a problem. But since it's
Yeah.
Persona 4 and Kanji's character arc is just being like, I don't know, closeted gay is the right word,
Yeah,
but
no. Yeah, no.
it's
It was more like he was just a tough dude that didn't want people to know that he was into, like, feminine things, and then his shadow was, like, a personification of that fear, right?
yeah, like oh, like he has to be masculine because the sake of being masculine because of the way he looks.
Right.
But anyway, like I know it's a Final Fantasy video, but like Persona's such a good game too.
Oh, yeah.
And sadly, the this Final Fantasy series isn't the same anymore, and it's a big disappointment
Yeah.
because Nomura, I know he's not really in charge of everything, but the guy is in charge of the one of the best Final Fantasy games out right now. And when I reacted to that trailer that came out with
Mhm.
part three, I got so much like backlash, people calling me retarded because for the sake of just them being annoying as fuck, because they can't even like make a good argument or opinion of why this fucking remake is shit.
Yeah, I mean, one thing I will say is that I'm glad, excuse me, that they announced, something like that and not something like High Guard or Concord or whatever the hell Naughty Dog is doing. But, yeah, Final Fantasy VII Remake is shit.
Yeah, and if you ever get to play it, let me know so I can tell you.
Oh, yeah, whenever I play through all those games, which, I'm sure will take me, what, like, maybe 100 hours, 200 hours?
Probably 300 if we, I mean, it might take time, but who knows? Like,
Yeah.
just like some of these newer games are so shit.
One thing I will say, though, is that, they are releasing a 2D pixel art turn-based Final Fantasy game, and it looks pretty good. The cutscenes and the CG looks amazing too.
Which game is it?
It's, Final Fantasy Resonance. It's, coming out this October, and it might just
Oh,
yeah.
it's the pixelated game that was on the mobile, and now they're turning it into it's an
Wait,
actual game, I guess.
wait, was it on mobile originally?
Yeah, it was on mobile. It was a mobile game.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, maybe it'll be good, but we'll see.
I mean, who knows? But I mean, I did like the mobile game, but it wasn't really something I would play back to back.
Yeah, that's fair. Who knows? Maybe Square Enix is just, dipping their toes in the water, see how many people will buy a turn-based Final Fantasy game. And if it sells
Okay,
well, they'll
okay, I'm sorry.
yeah, no, you're good.
Okay, so Have you played the Cydia Opera Omnia?
I have not, but I have played the PSP Dissidia games.
Yeah, those are pretty good.
Oh yeah. Such a shame what happened to
It,
that sub-series though.
yeah, they released a new one, but it's such a gotcha game. Like I'm sorry, like I don't really like those,
Yeah, me neither.
and they're they're so fucking boring. Like I tried playing it for a second, I was like what the fuck you mean I have to buy these things? I mean, yeah, it's gotcha, so obviously, but one of the reasons why I don't like gotcha is that right there, perfect example.
Mhm. Yeah, and then, there was the whole thing with, Dissidia NT and how they didn't give any kind of, like, main story campaign. They wanted to cater it to, the sweats, basically. People who are really into the fighting game community.
Yeah, it's more for like Japanese audiences because I can't get into it. Like it's so I don't know, like, it's just not for me.
Yep, same.
So wait, what was the first Final Fantasy you ever played?
For me, it was Final Fantasy III on the DS.
Okay, for me it was four. Okay, so four is it has some flaws. It's I don't know, it's just something about like these characters just come and go. It's just like why can't he just stay in a party? Like I want to use these characters too.
Yeah, I mean, I would say compared to Final Fantasy VI, the characters are definitely a bit uh, I guess you could say underdeveloped, but they're not bad. It's
Yeah,
ju
Rosa was just like the love interest and not really anything interesting. Rydia is pretty good though.
Oh yeah, Rydia kicks ass.
Yep. Okay, so I know Final Fantasy VI, you say it's the best of the Pixel era, right?
Right, like the classic games, yep.
Okay, so I'm just gonna say this, like for me, when it comes to Final Fantasy VI, it is the best, but it has some flaws,
Oh yeah.
and those flaws are just like they have so many characters, and then some of them just come and go. Some of them just like they don't really serve a plot to the story, like Gogo, Omaru. I know they're optional, but still. Gal is just there for fuck, I don't know why. Realm too. Strago. I mean, Strago maybe a little, but Realm, no.
Yeah, that was actually what put me off from continuing on playing Final Fantasy VI at first, was just, the way they introduced all the main characters. It just throws so much at you at once. Doesn't really give you much
I
breathing
know,
room.
and it's like this is probably the reason why it's gonna take 20 years to remake that game because they have so many characters. Some of those characters have nothing to do with the story.
Yep, I've heard constant rumors of them remaking Final Fantasy IX, but I don't know if that'll ever come to fruition. If they do,
Oh,
it
that
needs
shit
to be frickin' one part and it needs to be turn-based.
That shit's not gonna happen. I mean, they keep saying that, oh, like we're gonna get an anime, or we're gonna get a remake, and I'm like, no, just leave it the fuck alone. Like, it's my favorite game in the series. It doesn't need to be remade. Final Fantasy VII already proved that Square Enix cannot do it.
Mhm. Yeah, I wouldn't put much faith in a multi-part, remake series like they did with 7.
Yeah, that shit is terrible. They're just doing it for greed.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's why I, put off playing those games until they actually fully release all the parts. I said that even back in, 2020 when the games were coming out.
Look, okay, I know there are some good things in that remake, but most of it is just shit. Like it really is. And I probably the only good thing about it is I mean, the music is okay, but it's nothing compared to the original soundtrack for me.
Yeah,
The
and,
characters, I'm sorry.
I was just gonna say that, like, music is, good music is good music, but, that doesn't necessarily make a good game, but continue.
Okay, so I was gonna say the characters just don't feel the same. Aerith is a prophet in a remake, and she should not be knowing about her own death. Same thing with Sephiroth.
Okay. Yeah, that's bizarre.
Yeah, it's like I know they're doing it because um the original fans know the story already, but these newer people, these newer fans, they don't know anything about it. So like what's the point of that being there?
Right. Yeah, because like, didn't her mom, or I guess her adoptive mom, kept her whole lineage a secret, and then they just spilled the beans to Cloud?
Yep.
Yeah, that was in the original game. So,
Yep, and it's a big problem.
yeah, good to know they're really good about being subtle. Sarcasm.
God, I wish those remakes could just like I wish it could have been better, but God, it's so annoying. It really is.
I just think they're unnecessary. Like, what's the point of remaking a classic? Or it's like it would be one thing if Final Fantasy VII on the PlayStation had an obvious flaw or two that could have been corrected, and also give it a visual facelift. But I would say that Final Fantasy VII just people like to laugh at like the Lego esque design of the characters or whatever. But I thought it had charm.
I think it's great. I mean, it looks more like a Roblox game, but that's just me. Yeah, I still like it. Like I prefer playing that game over and over again just for its charm and not playing those remakes.
Yeah, the materia system is pretty good too.
Yeah, that's it's addicting to use, especially
Speaking of
the
which,
summoning.
oh yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
That I don't remember anymore. What were we gonna say?
I was just gonna say, have you played Crisis Core?
Oh my God, that game is so shit.
Really? You hated it?
Yeah, it's just like it's just the way Zack is. Like, I mean, he's okay, but Nomura is the director for the game, and knowing how Nomura is, it's not really my thing.
I mean, that's fair. One thing I will say though is that like, have you actually beaten it or no?
Yeah, I beaten it.
Okay. Was it the original PSP port or the remake?
Sadly, I played the remake because I didn't have a PSP back then, and I didn't have, you know, I didn't really have any money to buy it. But yeah, I played the remake, and I think I rather just prefer playing the original just for the voice of Zack.
Yeah, I mean, the voice acting was, the new voice cast they got. They kind of made Zack sound like Jet the Hawk after a cold. But I would
Yeah,
say
it's
other
so
than that,
shit.
I actually kind of enjoyed the remake of Crisis Core. I thought they improved on a lot of the UI design. They made it less intrusive, but yeah, no, like if you're not a fan of just the overall vibe of that game, then it's just not going to gel with you. So that's understandable.
Yeah, there's something I had to say about the ending. Is that okay? If I would okay in the original Final Fantasy VII, you Cloud isn't supposed to remember who Zack is after they got out of the basement. But for
Right.
some reason in Crisis Core, he still remembers Zack after, the whole situation that happened. I'm like, you're not supposed to remember him at all. Like, what the fuck?
Okay. So there was a continuity error then.
Yeah, it's like he's not supposed to remember him whatsoever. And that ending is something that just kind of bothers me. And yeah, that's one thing why I can't like Crisis Core.
Yeah. I mean, that's totally fair. I mean, for me, I'm just kind of a sucker for like that angsty 2000s edgy stuff. So, I mean, for me, it kind of, there will always be a soft spot for that kind of a motif for me, just because it was something I was used to when I was growing up. But yeah, no, like if that's not your thing, then that's totally understandable.
I was gonna ask you, have you seen the movie?
Crisis Core, or you're talking about Advent
Um,
Children.
yeah,
Yeah, it's kind of a guilty pleasure of mine. I will definitely
it,
admit that it's a very flawed movie, and it could be really boring to someone, but I kind of liked it, and it's something I'll put on every year or whatever if I'm bored.
it's fine, but if you want to be honest with you, yeah, it does have some flaws, but the ending is actually pretty good for everything that just happened with all these characters. It does have a perfect ending.
I thought the bad guys were way too campy though, with the
Oh
mother.
no, yeah, they're like what the fuck is this cringe ass writing? I don't want to hear about your mommy issues. The fuck? It's so like what the fuck is this writing? Like I that's like one of the things I hate about that movie. It's just like the whole cringe humor that those three characters have to say all the time.
Yep, tons of monologuing.
A lot. I mean, it's Nomura, so
Mhm.
he, he does it in Kingdom Hearts. He does it in Final Fantasy. I just hope he isn't the director for the next game. It's gonna break me if I find out he's the director for the next Final Fantasy game. I am going to get so fucking mad.
Well, I mean, you might be in luck then, because I heard that within the next 5 or so years, he's just gonna straight up retire.
Oh, thank God.
I mean, that's just
I
a
mean,
rumor
look,
though, like, based on interviews, but, you know.
look. I don't mind him. I don't mind his character designs. They're really good. He makes them iconic.
Oh, yeah.
But the fucking problem is that it's it's his writing. That's the thing. It's like it's just this man cannot write.
Yeah, like, I would say he's more of, like, a character guy and definitely less of a story guy. The guy I don't know how much you know about Kingdom Hearts, but it doesn't matter.
Not
Like I was gonna say, it doesn't really matter, uh, how much you try to improve the story in Kingdom Hearts 3. Based on what was set up in Dream Drop Distance, there was no saving that plot. I'm sorry.
yeah. Tree Drop Distance was just a crossover game with The World Ends with You, and I haven't played that game, but well, it is a crossover game, just basically.
Well, I mean, it is for one of the worlds that you start out in. It has the World Ends With You characters in it, but
It's it's not that bad, but it's not the worst. I'm gonna have to go with Kingdom Hearts 3 being the worst.
yeah. I did think that the world choices were more interesting in Dream Drop Distance, so I would say by default that kind of makes it better.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say my worst Final Fantasy game is 13, but also I don't know. Have you played 16?
I have not, but I watched somebody let's play it on Twitch, and he sounded very miserable when playing it because it took him like 80 hours to finish the main story. And
It's
he said that it basically just ruined the franchise for him. He says that it needs to just end. So
it's just Devil May Cry.
yeah, yeah, way too much action. They need to go back to turn based for 17.
Look, I expected better from that game. I mean, the summonings looked great. It really did.
Oh yeah,
The music is pretty good. The Clive is a good protagonist, but these characters, it just feels like Final Fantasy 12 all over again with how boring it is.
yeah. I mean, just based on the trailer footage I saw when the game first got announced, I was kind of intrigued when I saw that it got an M rating, but beyond that, it just doesn't come off like a Final Fantasy game.
Yeah, it comes out as Devil May Cry.
Yeah, or just like an over the shoulder third person action game from Sony,
Well,
which,
I
you
mean,
know,
the action is okay, but it's not Final Fantasy.
yeah,
It's not the Final Fantasy I grew up and loving.
yep, definitely a big identity crisis there.
Yep, and I just hope like someday it goes back to its roots. But for now, we got Persona, we got a Bravely Default, and even though I haven't played Bravely Default, it's there for apparently for the Final Fantasy fans. But it's like a whole different thing.
Yeah, it's a whole other series.
Yep.
Yeah,
But
I was gonna say I haven't played the second one. I've only beaten the first one, but you know, there was a one part of the game of Bravely Default 2 that was kind of cringe. So who knows? Maybe that would be a disappointment for me. But I did really like the first game.
apparently Final Fantasy 14 is good, but I haven't played it for myself, and I'm not really into like a. I'm not a MMO fan,
Oh yeah,
so
yep, same here.
yeah, people tell me it's great, but I cannot get into MMOs. I haven't even played Final Fantasy 11.
I actually did play 11 for a minute just because me and some friends of mine wanted to get into it. I played about 20 hours into it. I mean, it's kind of what you would expect from an MMO. Not bad, but again, you know, I just can't play the same game for months on end. I'm just not that type of person.
Yeah, it's gonna get boring eventually.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's I don't know. It's just not that really my type of game. But anyway, what do you think of Sebi Wes?
Uh, so my introduction to Sebi Webs was seeing him on Twitter shit posting about Claire Obscure. So I think it was kind of a bad introduction for me, but overall, I would say his opinions on modern Final Fantasy are on point.
Yeah, they're pretty on point. Like, I mean, like I know he says he doesn't rage bait, but he actually does.
Yeah, I mean that's fine. I rage a bit, or I rage bait a lot too. We do a little trolling. It's okay.
Yeah, it's fine. But um, he's he's actually right about everything about Final Fantasy. So that's why a lot of people follow him because he's probably one of the only people that could actually shit talk these games. And these other fucking people, they just like they don't understand that Final Fantasy is dying. And when the views for the Final Fantasy VII Revelation trailer came out, there were hardly any there was hardly any views.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean it's just more of like what people kind of expected from that at that point. It's like, oh wow, part three. Thank God, finally.
Yeah, it's just like did you hear the reactions? It's like they don't even care anymore. They're just like, okay, part three,
Yep,
that's it.
just more of the same. Thank you.
Yeah, it's just stupid time ghost
Yep, enjoy your
shit that doesn't
slop.
even make any sense. Yep, cringe ass writing, just a bunch of terrible things.
Yeah, yeah. Hopefully, the franchise will move into a better direction in the future. But we'll see.
Hopefully, I just hope they get like Yoshitaka Amano and they get um Sakaguchi back because they're probably the only ones that can save the series. If you want me to be honest,
Yeah, I would love to see Sakaguchi come back, but he's also kind of getting up there in age, so he might be looking towards retirement if he hadn't already.
I think he is retired.
No, okay, fair.
Yeah. Well, anyway, it was nice talking to you, but I gotta do some things.
Yep, same. Nice talking to you too.
Yeah, yeah, it's just just send me the audio
Yep.
and I'll do everything else.
Okay, ballin'. You have a good one.
All right, you too.